You are ambassadors here in Niger. Today, through war, the imperialists wanted to tear our society apart, annihilate us, and ensure that we can never raise our heads and submit ourselves forever. But the expected effect for them will never take place, because instead, this war has come to weld us together, to unite us, and more than ever, we remain standing. And we tell them we're never going to cry, and we're never going to bow our knees to anyone again. This war which imposed itself on us united us. It was in this war that the AES was born. The AES will change the history of Africa, will change the history of the world. You, here, are the privileged witnesses of all the harm that these people do to our populations. You have experienced, since July 26th until today, the suffering that has been inflicted on the people of Nigeria in particular, on all the people of the AES through inhuman sanctions, but it united us even more and allowed us to understand why we must fight. And that's the most important thing. I would like to congratulate you, you who are not in the country, who are far away. And today, because of social networks which have a positive aspect but also a negative one, I imagine how much pain you might have in having to imagine what can reality be, what a lie. Because you hear all kinds of news, you suffer more than those in the country. But I think God doing, tonight we have a few minutes. In any case, we will have discussed freely on many themes, and also, and above all, the possible grievances that you will have. Because these are the same realities that we now share with our brothers in Niger. So be thanked once again, because being distinct from the motherland, you have always contributed, and through you, all those of the diaspora, to the Patriotic Support Fund, to continue to give a boost to the fighting forces who fight day and night on the field. The whole country thanks you for these gestures that you make day and night. When I listened, I understood that you understood the whole maneuver. There were no complaints, there was no meadow. This is the occupation laid down. It is the very expression that you have understood the depths of the struggle. Thanks again. Thank you to you who convey this message. Thank you for being by our side, because that is the fuel we need. The courage we need to move forward is what you are giving us. You understand the situation, and there is no reason to get discouraged, tired, or give up. We will move forward. I will therefore make it my duty to give you news from the country. As you have followed for several years, we are attacked from all sides. Burkina Faso, particularly, from east to west, from north to south. There were attacks everywhere, and we just kept going backwards. Today, we have been able to resettle many villages and reopen many schools. In many areas, activities have resumed. And there is not this area where our forces cannot set foot when they want to go there. But despite this, you hear narratives from those called imperialists, or their local valleys, who are with us. They don't care if an area has been recaptured or not, but it's when an area is lost, they are on their high horse. They take the loudspeakers, they shout, and often they invent everything kinds of stories. In addition to that, at the strategic level, there is disinformation, manipulation. You have recently experienced what happened in Burkina Faso. I know you were disturbed. Many people did not have information, because at times like this, when everyone invents what they want, perhaps media that you believe to be serious start to rewrite certain information. It proved to you that these are not serious media. They spent the time manipulating Africans. But today, thank God, you were able to discover that everything is false. It's manipulation. They take the information, they manipulate it and serve you what they want. You understand everything, and I think we no longer need to make anyone aware of this. Unfortunately, these people will always find room ghosts who will do anything to do what they want. And this is what we are experiencing too. I know you follow him. Unfortunately, some Burkinabees have retreated to neighboring Ivory Coast and are starting to pull strings with the imperialists to further try to destabilize our country. But it's a waste of time. We have taken a route. We are moving forward. We will never look back. Pressure is mounting everywhere. The forces are keeping watch, and we continue to fight. But we can assure you of one thing. Fighting has won, but the other was that we were in a configuration that didn't even allow us to be free in maneuvering. Thank God today. Nobody can stop us from going and equipping ourselves wherever we want. No one comes to design maneuvers with us. The general staffs think as they want and carry out their operations. We buy our air assets wherever we want and we use them as we want. No one can restrict us from flying over a part of the territory when no one will come in our operations to prevent us from accessing an area. This all happened before. Check in with the SDF who maneuvered with these imperialist forces that were here. This is why we say that it is now independence, and the battle has only just begun. Certain individuals have had the perverse pleasure, for a long time, of explaining to widows or women, even soldiers still active, to make them understand that there is a way. First, we don't negotiate. We will fight to make this clear to everyone. We see some who take the pleasure of often finding themselves on sets. We don't know where they learned their strategy. Security experts from who knows what and saying, no, we need to talk. This is the term they finally found, instead of negotiating, dialogue. Dialogue with whom? If they know it, send it to us. As far as I know, we opened the door by creating the call center. It is he who wants to lay down his arms, who calls him and who lays down his arms. We will see what to do for him. Burkina Faso must be a prohibited destination for these mercenaries, and we will fight throughout the AES space to free our lands and be able to flourish. They spend the time making us understand that we are poor. Every year you see the results. Either Niger, the penultimate Niger, Burkina Kalea, that's what's happening. And they like to rank the richest countries down to the poorest countries. And we are the poorest countries, the Sahelian countries. We fight over each other's tails. Okay? We have taken our responsibilities. We are telling you to leave our home. We are going to organize ourselves and develop. There too, you say that you are not leaving. I cannot understand. If you are poor, you have nothing. But go. If we're going to work, why don't you leave? It's not clear then. There's something down there. There is a mistletoe on the Roche. Since 1968, take the case of Niger. They mine uranium. But Niger has no electricity. But Paris, city of lights. Is that normal? But leave it to us. We will develop. We will manage with our uranium too. We will know what to do. For years here in Burkina, they have been mining gold everywhere. You don't even have a good road to get to the gold site. For what? Okay. Now we know how to mine gold. I don't know why we even give permits to multinationals from these countries. We will mine our gold ourselves. We have already launched. We are going to start. We are going to do it. We are still reorganizing and equipping the army. We have not reached the level we want. But we are controlling the situation. We are staying the course. But we are going to increase our strength because the equipment will come. The workforce will increase. We are going to do battle. That's for sure. We can suffer, but we need patience. That's all. Because the situation has deteriorated so much over several years, you have to go with force so that it can't come back later. When we solve it, it's once and for all. We are in the process of bringing together everything we need to be able to open the different axes that link the states of the AIS. And they are fighting so that these axes cannot open. Because AIS is a nightmare for them. This must not happen. We don't have to integrate, but we will defeat them. In any case, you've waited a long time. I can't write about all the subjects, but know one thing, on all aspects, there are battles to be fought. You are the guarantor of what will be written tomorrow. It is you who will have to do everything to ensure that we never turn back. It's not even possible. This is a path of no return, as Colonel Goita said last time, and we are counting on you. stand in solidarity with your Nigerian brothers. Be ambassadors of Burkina Faso here. This solidarity must be expressed on all levels. We know what the Nigerian people are going through. We are doing everything we can to reduce this suffering, but they are a resilient people. Those who make us suffer like this, I bet their people cannot bear what Nigeria has to endure. Hold on, show solidarity, and for our part, we will spare no effort to ensure that the legitimate aspirations of our people are satisfied. That's why we're here. Hold on again, and pass on the message to the entire diaspora to hold on and stay standing, because Burkina Faso is that too. These are the people who fought to leave us this land, and we have a duty to fight for the generation to come. Many thanks to everyone.